Hey, so I just want to thank you guys for showing up. This means a lot to us that this is the power of the pro-life generation right here. In 2006, 10 years ago, the search was on for Students for Life of America to become a full-time organization. And they were looking for someone who could take the reins and ride that crazy horse to the pro-life generation we see today. So in 2006, Kristan Hawkins became the first full-time employee of Students for Life of America. She has served our organization and you, our students, the pro-life generation, passionately for 10 years. And I want to tell you guys, when she started, there was about 180 Students for Life groups, pro-life clubs across the country on college campuses. But through her vision, through her dedication, I want you to know when she was first employed, she was the executive director, the head of IT, chief toilet cleaner, graphic designer, and everything. We were in an office that had no windows. There was one person's office was actually a closet. So 180 groups to now a decade later, we have 1,068 pro-life groups across the country. That is amazing. And I just want to honor and thank Kristan Hawkins because, I'm sorry I wasn't supposed to cry, but this conference is about heroic, and I've seen Kristan be heroic as a leader, as a mom with kids that have special needs, to tirelessly and relentlessly help our country know that the pro-life generation is a huge voice, that you are a culture changer. And so we're just gonna thank her really quick. A decade is a long time. I don't know how many people realize between 10 years old to 20 years old, a lot of things change. Between 20 to 30, a lot of things change. And in 10 years of Students for Life and Kristan Hawkins' leadership, a lot of things have changed.
Just for the record, she had no idea we were doing this. So when I started back at Students for Life in 2013, I did not know Kristan, and I was very unfamiliar with Students for Life in general. So my earliest memory of Kristan is her excessive use of acronyms. And not only does she use acronyms, she uses them very quickly. And so it took me about a week to figure out what SFLA meant. SFLA. Now I consider myself fluent in Kristan. To be honest, I was very timid and unsure in my earlier days, and there were moments when I was nervous about what she was asking us to do. She can testify to all of this. We had to be upfront, engaging, creating an exciting environment, and I was uncomfortable and nervous, but over the years I've seen her decisions prove incredibly successful and move the entire pro-life movement forward, even when I was nervous and doubted it. And if you're wondering who coined the phrase pro-life generation, it was Kristan, and now it's become a battle cry for our entire movement. She pushes people out of their comfort zones for the better, and I am more courageous than I ever thought I would be, and I know so many of you feel the same. She's our fearless leader, and she is helping shape a fearless generation. So when you see Kristan today, because she'll be wandering around, be sure to thank her, hug her, and give her excessive compliments, because she loves that. That's sarcasm if you didn't catch it. But seriously, thank her, because if it wasn't for her leadership, we wouldn't have over 1,000 student groups across the nation working so hard to abolish abortion, and we wouldn't be masters at the bullhorn.
So Kristan Hawkins is, I think, the craziest person that I know, and that's saying something. And I know you're hating this right now, and you're probably going to kill us all later. but you really do deserve all this recognition and praise. When I first started Students for Life, it was kind of a crazy time. And I started on, my first day in the office was a Wednesday. I was starting as national field director, and we had, like 3 days later, the field team coming in. I was supposed to run all this training and meeting. And a day or two into it, so we're in this new office, we just painted all the walls. Kristan goes, I want to turn this entire wall into a whiteboard. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? For those of you who don't know, Kristan loves whiteboards. There's actually one of my favorite pictures is her hugging a whiteboard with a thought bubble. I love whiteboards. So I go to Tina's office. I'm like, is she serious? She's like, yeah, she wants a whiteboard. So 2 days later, by Monday morning, that wall was a whiteboard. And that's really kind of the leadership and direction that Kristan gives us, not just whiteboards, but with everything else. She really gets, like Missy said, a lot of us out of our comfort zones, and it's her vision, her leadership, her crazy ideas, and her willingness to do whatever it takes and just go after it that has grown our organization and contributed so much to our movement. Now, some of her ideas are a bit far-fetched, a bit crazy. I'm not going to share any of them now, though if you want to talk to me later, we can have a lot of fun conversations. But I'm going to admit something just this one time, which is that more often than not, when we disagree, you are right and I am wrong. I'm never going to live that down. So over the years, we've spent an obscene amount of time together, traveling the country, rallying pro-lifers, meeting with supporters. I'd say perhaps a little bit too much time. I think we know way more about each other than we ever really wanted to know. I've carried her purse all over. The team got her for her 10th anniversary, got her a bigger purse that I now have to carry around the country. So thank you for that. There's some days, though, when we're so sick of each other, we refuse to sit next to each other on the plane. And by the way, I already got my upgrade for tomorrow, so we're good. But I've been able to watch so much of what goes into making all of this happen, not just, though, what you see, the conferences, the TV interviews, the rallies. It's what goes in behind the scenes. You don't see, I'm gonna cry now. You don't see the sacrifices that Kristan makes for all of us. The 4 a.m. wake-up calls and the 6 a.m. flights. The late-night meetings, very late-night meetings. You don't see when she's on conference calls and talking on the phone, doing radio interviews while she's got 2 kids on her lap and trying to make dinner. Kristan Hawkins is an incredible mother, an amazing wife, and the world's greatest boss. And I'm honored to call you my friend, my mentor, and my hero. Thank you.
So, I don't expect Kristan to speak, but in her honor, I want to do one of her favorite things with just a chant. So we are going to do, we are pro-life. So this half of the room, I want you guys, well, everyone can stand up, but we are going to be, we are, you guys are pro-life. Are you guys ready for this? Stand up. I promise you Chick-fil-A is out there waiting. You guys ready? All right, so you guys are, we are pro-life. You got it? We are